There are places on this planet that feel alien or extraterrestrial in nature, and southern Utah seems to have an abundance of them. In this episode, we find ourselves on the tail end of our 500-mile adventure through the Utah backcountry. Join the OTG crew as we journey through the otherworldly landscapes along the 200-mile Capitol Reef Backcountry Trail, where we'll drive through stark badlands, explore the rainbow hues of the bentonite hills, witness a 100-mile-long warp in the Earth's crust, and navigate rugged red canyons with sheer walls reaching for the skies, discovering why this corner of Earth truly defies expectation. So we're at Goblin Valley State Park, as you guys know, looking at Valley of the Goblins. It is pretty cool, very alien looking. Well, this is definitely a trip out here. I would highly recommend coming out here. I imagine this place would be spectacular. Sunrise, sunset, or if you can come out here under the full moon and just walk through. Oh my God, I'm loving this. Just kind of, it's like a maze of paths here and these mud mushrooms. They look like Koopa Troopas from Mario World or something like that. Very, very surreal. So we've wrapped our explorations of Goblin Valley State Park, at least me and Manuel and Shasta. We're heading back to the visitor center to meet the group right now, and we'll probably let them check out Valley of the Goblins, whatever it's called. And then today, we're gonna be going out to Factory Butte, the Badlands, the lunar or Neo-Mars overlook, and then working our way closer to Capitol Reef National Park, and then camping somewhere probably on BLM land tonight. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, so let's get into it. Well, when you see this out, you know that means the adventure is about to begin. Our departure from Goblin Valley State Park marked the beginning of the 200-mile Capitol Reef Backcountry Trail. The first few miles felt eerily similar to the Santa Fe Swell, but soon, the landscape began to morph, revealing a radically different character. Underneath a canvas of brooding gray skies, Factory Butte stood sentry over the vast badlands below. And just beyond the butte, we had no idea what awaited us at the lunar overlook. It's hard to imagine, but these striking badlands began their life as part of an expansive, shallow sea, the Western Interior Seaway. The soft and easily eroded shales that make up their core were first laid down as mud and silt on the ancient seabed. As the land began to uplift, the vulnerable layers of Blue Gate Shale surrendered to the powerful forces of erosion from water and wind, transforming into the alien landscapes that seemed to stretch to the horizon. And if you backtrack from the overlook to Factory Butte, You'll find an impressive network of OHV trails to explore and play in its surrounding badlands, and so that's just what we did. So we wrapped up the San Rafael Swell adventure route yesterday, and the scenery out here in Capitol Reef, it is just so different than what we saw on the Swell. I'm just really loving kind of the change of scenery here. Very alien, very Martian. Really cool though, really, really cool. If you get a chance to do those two routes back to back, give you a nice variety. Plus the Swell is a lot more bumpy or moderate trails. This is a lot of trails rated 1 and 2. There are some bumps along the way, but nothing too bad. So just got word on the radio that Francisco has a flat. I was just getting the camera shot, so I'm pulling down the road. We'll get it changed out or plugged, whatever needs to be done there. Should be a pretty fast job, and then we'll be on our way.
Yeah.
I'll go get the jack. And it's meant for tires?
Yeah.
Did it work?
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, no.
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 In the area around it.
That's?
Yeah, it talks about putting...
It dries super fast. Make sure it covers that whole holder right there. If it works, I'm as soon as I get home, I'm gonna buy.
I'm about to buy it, yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do it. After a successful tire patch thanks to glue tread, we pushed further into Capitol Reef National Park. And wow, in the distance, two massive sandstone outcrops rose from the windswept valley, the Temple of the Sun and the Temple of the Moon. The wind was whipping dust and sand across the basin, so our visit was pretty quick, but we were still blown away by these majestic geological features. So the wind is absolutely howling right now. We're on a full-on dust storm. Really not going to be able to kind of get out and look at things. So we're thinking of possibly trying to find camp and get out of this mess. Got camp, stepped outside. It seems like it's relatively well protected. It's not the flattest, but we'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers, so that's what we're doing.
Hi.
So much nicer this morning than it was yesterday and last night. Yesterday the wind was blowing everywhere. It was cold and blustery around camp. I got into bed around 8:30. Today, little breeze, but unfortunately there's wind coming back into the forecast, building throughout the day, but hopefully we're not getting that crazy dust that we were yesterday. It made it really hard to get out and enjoy the sights. You get out of your vehicle and you're just getting pelted in your face and your eyes, and not a lot of fun, especially when looking for camp. But let's talk about what we're going to get into today. Going back into the national park, going to go check out the gypsum sinkhole. I think we're going to go over to Cathedral Valley, go to one of the overlooks, and we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we may just kind of take our time, mosey on along, and then find a camp that works for us. So let's get into things, guys. It's kind of wild to think that last night's camp was right on the edge of a cow pasture. But hey, that's Utah for you. We headed back into the park, totally mesmerized by those long shadows the rising sun was casting over the red sandstone cliffs all around us. You know that feeling when you just know everything's gonna line up? We were definitely getting that vibe this morning. So we're at the sinkhole. Let's go see what we find. So it looks like this sinkhole is in some sort of cave or something like that, or there's something over here against the wall. So the sinkhole in the Cathedral Valley Loop is the result of groundwater dissolving underlying gypsum beds. As these subterranean caverns grow, they eventually cave in, forming a sinkhole. So we're on our way to Cathedral Valley on the hiking trail. Shasta's back at the truck because she's not allowed on these trails. Watching the stuff. Just a short hike. Looks like we're gonna get some nice viewpoints, so that'd be really cool. Wind is still howling though. Just a few miles beyond the park's border, one comes across the otherworldly bentonite hills. These oddly colored hills were formed over millions of years from ancient volcanic ash that settled in swamps and lakes, gradually transforming into a unique type of clay known as bentonite. The various minerals within this bentonite clay give the hills their vibrant and diverse colors, including reds, browns, greens, and even purples. So before we jumped onto the Capitol Reef Backcountry Trail, we were over in the San Rafael Swell for the previous 4 days, and lots of impressive rock faces, mesas, bluffs, all that good stuff. What I love about the Capitol Reef Trail is that you get the things like the Bentonite Hills, the Factory Butte, the Badlands out there, the lunar overlook, and it's just really strikingly different scenery and landscapes than you get in the Swell, but I love them all the same, so it's just kind of a nice change of pace out here. We ended up finding another amazing campsite, and Chef Disco went to work, cooking an incredible meal for the group that night. We were definitely feeling spoiled.
It's king mushrooms, not freeze dried.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this.
Woo!
Bonkers.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. It's like a club that can deal a lot of damage.
Dude, you look at his beard. Okay, he looks like he's 10. I was like a lot younger there. So.
So just making sure I get Shasta in for a morning walk today, because tomorrow is going to be a lot of driving. We're going to be working our way towards Las Vegas. Got to drop Manuel off the airport, and then I'll probably try to get as close as I can back to Northern California, just so I don't have a big drive day the day after that. But today it's going to be beautiful. Looks like it's going to be in the low to mid 70s, and then tomorrow is going to be in the low 80s, and wind is dying down, so definitely looking forward to that. So just going to enjoy this last day out here. Today marks day 7 in Utah, our final day out on the trail. And just a few miles down the road, we'll take on the infamous Burr Trail switchbacks. From there, we'll make our way through the twists and turns of Malali Twist Canyon in search of an epic viewpoint, and eventually wrap things up by exploring the red rock wonderland of Wolverine Bench. It's gonna be another good one, so you're gonna want to stick around. So one of the discovery points along the Capitol Reef Backcountry Trail is the oyster reef. And it's a little bit that way, but I saw some material that looked like it could have been oyster shells. So we hopped out, took a look. It's just a bunch of like white shell and stuff like that. But if you go that way a little bit, you will hit the oyster reef. And I bet if you dig around out there, you will find some fossilized shells. So pretty cool stuff. As we left the valley behind, we quickly began our ascent up the iconic Burr Trail switchbacks. From nearly 1,000 feet above the valley floor, you can truly appreciate the water pocket fold stretching to the horizon, a 100-mile-long warp in the Earth's crust. From atop the Burr Trail, we'd veer off onto Muley Twist Canyon that dead ends at a trailhead. Our objective was simple: make the short hike out to one of the best viewpoints of the water pocket fold.
Look, someone left the camera.
So we just wrapped up lunch at the end of the Muley Twist Canyon, and now we're going over to the Strike Valley overlook. Basically looking down on all the stuff that we drove the last hour before hitting the Burr Trail switchback, so it should be pretty cool. And sure enough, the Strike Valley overlook provided an awesome vantage point of the water pocket fold. Up here, you can imagine the Earth's crust stretching over millions of years to create this incredible deformation of the Earth's crust. We'd wrap up our final hours on the trail by exploring Wolverine Bench and one of its more incredible side canyons. After a week of exploring the trails and hidden gems of the San Rafael Swell and Capitol Reef, our time in Utah would undoubtedly be etched in our memories for the rest of our lives. Eventually, we'd make our way to camp and settle in for one last night with the group. It's been an amazing 7 days exploring the trails in Utah, but we've got to head back west to Northern California. We'll catch you guys out on the trail next time. Remember, stay wild, adventure far, and Godspeed.